What's up guys, Akil here again with another Shadow Priest guide. Today we're going to be going over Legacy of the Void paired with Power Infusion. I think there was a little bit of confusion on my last guide. I did Legacy of the Void with Mindbender. Nowhere in that video did I state that I thought it was the max damage or that I highly recommended it over anything else. I was just simply showing how you would play it if you did choose those talents. So getting into this one, the talent build stays pretty much the same. At the beginning, Twist of Fate, always a go-to. Body and Soul, very good. Mind Bomb, yes. Lingering Insanity is where you get your first option. With the Lingering Insanity, you're getting some decently lengthy Void Forms with this build. And Lingering Insanity helps get you back into Void Form quite quickly, so it's a very nice pickup. It pairs very well with Legacy of the Void. Sandline and Auspicious Spirits are your next options. Definitely not Shadowy Insight. For Sandline, you're going to want to use this for single target, or if you have a heavy mastery build. It pairs nicely with your mastery because all it does is increase your vampiric touch damage, which is really nice. So does your mastery. If you are heavy on crit, you're going to want to go with Auspicious Spirits since they proc off crits. Very obvious there. Also, if the boss has more than one target alive most of the fight, Auspicious Spirits becomes very favored because you can be rolling dots on multiple things and you can help get extra insanity, all that good stuff. So crit heavy build, go with Auspicious Spirits. Mastery heavy build, go with Sandline. Power Infusion is what we're going to take for this one. Very strong DPS cooldown, helps you get a little extra burst out, extra insanity generation. Really nice thing to have. Legacy of the Void is kind of what helps us determine what other talents to pick. Like I said, it pairs nicely with Lingering Insanity, and going in at 65 Insanity is really strong, in my opinion. So here's an idea of what stats I have. 20% crit, 34% haste, and 48% mastery. I'm using Swarming Plague Adhesive and a 865 Infernal Writ. So for this demonstration, I'm going to be using just a food buff of 375 haste, as well as a Whispering Pact Flask. Only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off Twist of Fate for this example because it is actually in execute range. I will not be using these Shadow Word Deaths either. I will go ahead and take them off the bar. So let's get into it. Starting off with 0 Insanity. Standard start. We're going to start with Mind Blast, pop up our dots, throw our Shadow Fiend down. Shadow Fiend's going to die kind of early because the boss thing hits it. It melees it back. Throw a couple Mind Flays in there, use Mind Blast off cooldown. I'm actually going to be in Void form now, so I'm going to go into Void form. I'm going to pop my Void Torrent. I'm going to refresh my dots right now, because what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to put instantly a Void Bolt in there and put a really long duration on these things. As you can see, my Vampiric Touch is shooting over 30 seconds, which means I don't have to worry about this pretty much for the rest of the fight. Once you see that you are struggling to keep about 70% insanity, you can go ahead and pop Power Infusion just to get a little bit of extra out of it. So you're going to go ahead and drop out of Void form. I still have Power Infusion up. I still have Lingering Insanity up. Boom, I'm right back into Void form. That's really nice to have. My Lingering Insanity is still falling off, and I'm getting good damage out here. See, because I refreshed those dots, now my Vampiric Touch is over 40 seconds in duration. As long as I keep with the in and out of Void form at rapid paces, I won't have any problems keeping these up. So I got a Void Torrent off there, but I actually fell out of Void form. That really stinks, but it happens sometimes. The only thing I haven't noted is I haven't used Dispersion as an offensive cooldown. You can use it to try and get a little bit out of your insanity, or out of your Void forms. I just haven't been doing it this because Night holds out, and you're probably going to be using it for defensives. I just popped a Mind Bomb right here on these little dummies because it's going to proc my ring. I got a little nice haste buff. Normally you get that a couple times throughout a fight. If you can use it off cooldown on different targets, but most of the time there aren't targets up to just spam it all the time. So we're about at 51 million damage. We're about at 50 million damage. I'm only at 40 currently. A normal boss takes about 100 million damage to down. Pop another Void Torrent here. So yeah, we're only doing about 340 I was doing 355 to 360, I believe, prior to the little flat nerf we just took. Power Infusion's up. I'm going to go ahead and pop it immediately to get a little bit more out of this void form. And because I have it and Lingering Insanity, I'm going to get right back into void form with this Mind Blast. There we go. I don't really remember exactly what our hotfix nerfs were. I know it was like 4% flat damage reduction across the board. I think our dots took bigger nerfs. Got another ring proc right there. I'm right back. Okay, so like I just said, I was doing 350, 365 prior to the nerf, and now I'm sitting right at 340. So yeah, I mean, not really noticeable that much. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pretty much stop this. I'm at 75 million damage, which is a good idea of where you're going to be at. So I was doing 345, which is not too shabby at all. Now we're going to be doing the execute part of it. In order to do that, I got to put Shadow Word Death back on the bar. And we're going to take Twist Fate, that way it procs, obviously. A couple other Shadow Priests out here practicing stuff. Okay, so here we go, same stuff. 0 Insanity, still have food and flask. The only difference is I'm going to be throwing in Shadow Word Deaths, and that's it. I got Twist Fate proc now. So let's reset the damage meter, and here we go. Mind Blast into dots, into Mind Flay. We'll go ahead and throw these Shadow Word Deaths out there just to get me into the Void form. So here we go, Void form and Torrent. I'll be refreshing dots right out of this to get that long duration on them again. Mind Blast, Shadow Word Death, Void Bolt. Alright, so we're gonna let those Shadow Word Deaths charge back up. Drop the Fiend, and popping Power Infusion now. And now we're going to be using those Shadow Word Deaths to try and help us stay in this Void form a little bit longer. We'll let it drain out, and we should be getting right back in here with this Mind Blast. Yeah. So we're right back in there. We still have Power Infusion. We still have Lingering Insanity. We have a couple other big buffs right now. So we're well over, not well over 500, we're at 500 right now. But Shadow Priests are a ramping class, meaning we do not do all of our damage at the beginning, even though we just blew all our cooldowns. So we will be getting a Torrent out of this second Void form. There we go. We're still hugging that 500 mark. Gonna go ahead and pop a Mind Bomb right there. So one little thing that I haven't been doing that I think would be decent is don't use your Shadow Word Deaths unless you're in the Void form. You should use them to extend your Void forms, not to get into the Void forms. Doing so will get you a little bit more damage, because you're actually going to be getting more damage from them because, you know, you have the damage buffs. Let's see here. We're at 475. We're doing 50 million damage. I think I went to 70 last time. Oops, just use Shadow Word Death again. That's okay. So we're going to go into Void form, and hopefully this next Power Infusion should be up. Go ahead and get all my abilities on cooldown, and then I'm going to Torrent. That way everything has time to do some cooling down. Yep, Power Infusion is going to be up for this one. Actually, just going to go ahead and save it for the next one. Get my Mind Bomb proc, get into this Void form. We're at the 70 million mark and we're doing 440. We should be able to ramp back up here with our second wave of cooldowns. So we got Power Infusion going right now. And I'll be able to get a torrent out of this one as well. I believe I've gotten a torrent every single void form. I'm going to try and wait till my Power Infusion wears out before I pop this torrent. No. I misplayed that pretty bad. We'll get right back into it. Not a big deal. We'll throw up our torrent right there. We're at 450 right now. So as you can see, like, I haven't really had to watch these dots at all because I refreshed them early and then popped off a bunch of void bolts, and it got their durations to be really long. I still haven't refreshed them, and my vampiric touch is still over 40 seconds most of the time, which is insane. Ideally, you want to get your ring procs while you're in void form. Any abilities that you can use in void form, you want to use them then, because that's when you get the extra damage and the extra insanity. You want to use them to extend your void forms, but you also do want to minimize your downtime outside of void forms. Yep, I've gotten a torrent off every single time, and we are at 450 on this. We're at 123 million. All right, so we went way over there. We're at 450. I believe I was at 340 on the last one. So we went up about 100k DPS, as expected. Same stats, same gear, same talents. So yeah, I'm rocking 450 right now with no heroism. And this is a static DPS. Like, it's not gonna fall off based on if I don't get good procs or that type of thing. Like Surrender would. Like Surrender, you kind of have to have all your eggs in a basket before you do everything. So yeah, this type of talent build is going to be good for fights that you cannot use Surrender, fights like Nathindra or Elorith, where there's just too much movement or certain mechanics that might cause you to die if you don't stand in certain places, because Surrender is a very niche talent build now. It's pretty much just your burn fights. So that's my Legacy of the Void with Power Infusion guide. Let me know which talents you want to see next. Let me know which bosses you guys are struggling with in Nighthold. I'll try and get some guides out on those as I'm learning them myself. Don't forget to like and share the video if you can. Helps me out a lot. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.